so good. Ain't my type of baby. Me and you were meant to groove.
And he starts singing right after he says, you can start. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Keep It Moving Podcast. I am your host, Novelty, and joining me today is the singing Mike B.
What did it do?
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm sleepy.
Are you?
I've had a long day.
You've been talking ever since you walked in the door. Now you're sleepy.
Man, I could have grown up and went to sleep at 2 o'clock. I was out mowing my yard today, and my riding lawnmower decided it didn't want to start. And I have not mowed since before I left from my trip.
Disney trip.
Because last week it rained like crazy.
Right.
So I couldn't mow. And I finally got out there today, and this was like, I have no choice. I have to mow. Kind of high. That's how high the grass was. Mm-hmm. So I had to resort to using a push mower in my big backyard, and it was tough. Let's just put it that way.
I can imagine.
So
do you guys have a homeowners association?
No.
Well, why don't you just kill all your grass and you don't have to deal with it? I would get out there with some weed eater and spray it all. Grass brown as ever. I
think about that blonde. Every other day.
My grass will be honey blonde, or some people actually go and cover their grass with like hay. I'm like, that's cool because you ain't got to worry about nothing, and then just be done with it for the summer.
I don't know about covering it with hay. Yeah, I mean, hay would still cause stuff to grow. Or maybe that's just straw that causes stuff to grow.
Ain't that the same thing?
No, hay and straw are a little different. But if you go to like...
I didn't know we were going to talk about this, though. But go ahead.
But if you go, think about if you go to like Hobby Lobby or even Walmart during Halloween, they have those bales of hay. They call them bales of hay. But I think they're actually straw. And they actually are they seed. So they'll grow. So I'm thinking hay does the same thing. Why would they sell you that?
Because they know you want to use it for like a pumpkin patch or something like that. Why would they sell you something that's going to grow?
Because it's not supposed to be down there that long. But
are you supposed to actually like rake it up?
Well, I use it for my cauldron that I put my bones in outside.
Listen to you. My cauldron.
For Halloween, I fill a cauldron.
You sounded so witchy.
Anyway, for Halloween, I fill a cauldron with bones, and I use it as filler. But by the time Halloween, I usually put my Halloween decorations out on the 1st of October, and I pick them up the week after. So within a month, I've got grass growing in there.
Okay.
So they will grow.
Well, I guess if you spray it with like "Don't Grow Here" aside,
don't grow here,
"Don't Grow Here" aside, then you won't have that issue. I'm just saying I would figure out a way to not have to do yard work or simply pay somebody because I don't have time. Even though I used to be in like a lawn service business with my homeboy Anthony, who you kept talking about last week as far as this Disney situation that I had absolutely no interest in. Anyway. But we had a lawn business, and that was actually really fun.
Why
get up at
come do my yard.
They don't call me that anymore. I used to do that. This was like 10 years ago. They don't call me that.
Well, I wouldn't have been doing it had my lawnmower worked, but I was kind of SOL.
You're riding lawnmower,
right?
So you had to go out there and push it.
I had to go push it.
Push it real good.
And then yesterday, yesterday my dog goes like berserk. You just ignore me now?
Ow! Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyway, yesterday my dog goes berserk and barking, won't come in, won't stop barking for 2 hours. Come to find out, a cat has had 6 little kittens up under my bar. So I spent that all day yesterday trying to get rid of kittens.
I'm telling you, if you had some hay, you wouldn't have to worry about it.
No, they use that as the bathroom.
But you can set hay on fire. And then I guarantee you.
Set the cats on fire.
Well, I think once you set like that fire, they'll move on their own.
Lord forgive him.
I'm just saying. This is a quick answer to your problem.
No. They were baby kittens. Actually, they had just opened their eyes. So they were really tiny kittens. Okay. I put sardines out, milk, trying to coax them
for some tiny kittens that just opened their eyes.
See, that's how we figured out how old they were, because we were trying to coax them into a box, me and my neighbor, and they wouldn't come out. So
y'all ain't got no shovel?
No, they were under my bar. I couldn't get to them.
Oh, okay.
So we were trying to coax them out, and they wouldn't go to it. So we were figuring they were still on their mom.
I bet you if you put those Mickey Mouse ears on. and went out there, they would have definitely came to you.
I'm done talking to you now.
How many episodes you gonna wear these Mickey Mouse ears?
I like my ears.
I bet you do, but that ain't answering the question.
I am Disneyed out.
I don't think that would ever happen.
So then you might see them every week.
Damn did mine eyes. I treated myself today. I went to, and this is the stupidest thing. When I tell people, they're like, that's a treat. But I actually went out to lunch. It was breakfast / lunch. And I treated myself to Long John Silver's. And it don't sound fancy because it's not. But it's not close by my house. So it has to be, I make a day of it. You know, I get up, shower.
What did you do? You got up, you showered, you went to Long
And I went to
Silver's and came home by yourself.
I eat there, you know, and it's a good time. It's relaxing. You know, I enjoy it.
You didn't go with anyone?
No, I don't need to go with people. I'm cool by myself. I enjoy the
I'm mad that you
solitude.
got up, showered to go by yourself to Long John Silver's.
Well, I'm not one to go just anywhere funky. The first thing I do anytime I get up is shower.
Okay, so that's why I'm like, why is this even a part of your story?
Because I got up, showered because of Long John Silver's. I said I'm going to treat myself, and I did. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, I'm glad you treated.
And I came right home.
I'm glad you treated yourself, and I'm glad you're easy to please.
Oh, I would have went down the street to Applebee's had they not closed this one. Because that was my spot. Applebee's 2 for $20. You can't go wrong. But they shut it down. And I hear they're closing like 160, I believe, Applebee's and IHOP locations.
Oh, well, I hope that's by my house.
I don't know.
Because the IHOP I got, not by my house. It got to stay there.
Okay. You don't like cooking breakfast?
No.
Do they even sell what you
actually
eat? You eat wheat eggs, wheat bacon.
Ain't no
you
such
eat
thing as a
everything.
wheat egg or wheat bacon.
I'm saying all you eat is wrong.
Anywho, I like their pancakes.
That's
I can cook the rest of my breakfast. I can make
well,
everything
you know, you can go to
else.
Burger King and get the pancakes 3 for 89 cents. Have you had them?
Same. It's not the same.
Okay. I didn't
Nobody
know
makes
IHOP.
pancakes like IHOP. Not to me.
Well, they're not the best.
They are
okay.
to me.
Okay. You got a weird little palate there.
Who's got the best pancakes? Denny's?
I don't even remember. Pancakes taste like pancakes to me. I'm good.
No.
I'm there for everything else. Pancakes ain't really what I'm there for.
No, I'm there for the pancakes.
Right on. Anyway, getting into the show. This week's Black Achievements and Excellence, we're going to give to LL Cool J. Do you know LL Cool J? You guys, do you know him?
What was you about to
My
say?
radio, I was about to say you guys are probably around the same age, but I think he's a little bit older. Yeah, older than you. Remember, you shared your age last week, so don't act like.
No, I said he's older. I was looking for the sarcastic comment.
No. I'm being real.
He's older.
Are you a fan of LL Cool J?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So.
Back when he was actually on the radio, when he was a rapper,
Again,
a star,
yeah,
hip hop
so.
artist.
So.
Oh, he didn't do it for you. It's not like he didn't do it for you.
I'm not a huge rap fan. Never have been.
Okay. I find that hard to believe. Because you've represented and managed rap artists
Somehow
to not be
I fell
a
into
rap
that.
fan. Like,
to this day, I wonder how I ended up doing that. I just fell into that. But no, I'm not a huge rap fan. I like him. He's cool. But Ice Cube was cool. NWA used to crack me up. They were funny to me.
Really? Like a comedy group instead
Yes,
of a rap
they were
group.
funny to me because that was music I wasn't supposed to listen to. It was just hilarious to me.
Okay. Did I already tell you were special?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure I reiterated that. But anyway, LL Cool J will make history as the first hip-hop / rap musician to be saluted at the Kennedy Center Honors.
Wow. Congratulations.
And he's 49 years old. It says 49-year-old LL Cool J ties with Stevie Wonder as the youngest artist to receive the award, according to the Kennedy Center. And evidently, this is one of those type awards. It's prestigious. You got members of the White House are there, like the president, vice president, their family. So, of course, he addressed the whole, I guess, the elephant in the room. Are you going to go? Because this current administration ain't nobody really feeling. Are you afraid of the backlash that it might cause? And he ends up saying, it's not really about the current administration, and that he was concerned. Well, he wasn't concerned, about the potential fan backlash because this is supposed to be about him.
Right.
And with this particular situation, I don't think people are going to boycott his music or anything if he attends this and gets this award, because like you said, it is about him, and we got other things to think about and be angry at regarding this administration.
Well, is the president gonna go?
They said he's supposed to be there.
I mean, he's supposed to be, but he's supposed to be a lot of places.
He's supposed to do a lot of things. But so they're expecting him to be there, and then the whole situation with them trying to take funding away from the arts program to have to I guess continue with this situation with this honors program.
There.
Yeah. I think that was a little bit of a controversy as well, but he's like, hey, I'm going to go. I don't think that I'm going to face any backlash, but if I do, it is what it is.
Good for him. He should go.
So shout out to LL Cool J. And for me, if, the president happens to show up, just slightly put up a middle finger and accept your award. It's about you. It's not about him.
If the so-called president happens to show up, I would like to see if he said anything respectful.
I don't think. Why would they ask him to talk?
Why would he come? He doesn't like black people.
But the arts, it's not about just black people. So he's not coming because LL Cool J is being right. That's what I'm saying.
The only thing he likes is Miss Universe. That's about it. He don't like the arts.
He's not about the arts. He's about beauty.
Right. Or reality TV and how it can make him money.
I feel like that's the presidency is reality TV right now. Anyway, again, don't try to take his thunder. Novelty.
No, I'm not trying
Shout
to
out
take
to LL Cool J. And congratulations to my brother.
Congratulations. Woo! Now, for the rundown of the week. Well, let's start with something interesting or fun or celebrity like. Taylor Swift was suing a DJ for touching her on the booty.
Okay.
She was suing him for sexual harassment for $1. She said the whole reason she filed the lawsuit is because she was standing up for women who were in this position and could not fight. So, shout out to her for doing that. A judge, now the DJ in turn turned around and sued her for millions of dollars because he got fired when she told the people at the radio station he worked for that he groped her.
Oh, so it was like a radio disc jockey,
yes.
Not just like somebody at the club.
No, this is a radio DJ.
Okay.
So the judge dropped the suit, the DJ suit.
Did she win her suit?
And she won hers.
Okay.
So, shout out to Taylor Swift. Good job. And she said she would give any money from the suit that she got from the suit to some type of
the dollar.
Well, that was the question, because she said she would give any money that she got from the suit to some type of place that deals with sexual harassment claims.
Okay,
and helps with that. But like you said, it was $1, so I don't know if she's just gonna write a check.
Not for $1.
More than $1.
Okay. I'm like, wait a minute.
Or just give some money herself.
Right, just make a donation in honor of sexual assault victims or something like that. She did a good
thing.
Okay.
I think she did a good thing.
Right on. I don't really hear too much about Taylor Swift, and when I do hear about her, it's really not always positive. I think the last thing I was hearing about her was her like appropriating black culture, or Taylor Swift being Taylor Swift. Especially when we see her at award shows, she's very irritating. She's always trying to dance to hip hop songs, and it just irritates everybody. It's like, sit your old country ass down. People want to say, but she's having fun. So, we let her live.
We let her live.
So I'm glad to hear, something positive, and she's doing something positive instead of causing controversy, or there being controversy surrounding her name.
You got it. Trump says he won't rule out military options in Venezuela.
What is that all about? I mean, do we know how Venezuela even came into the picture? Everything I feel like he's doing right now is to get us away from Russia. That's my whole thing.
And that's what I'm thinking. But also, I think when we use military options for everything, I think it's a scare tactic.
But why?
And we fighting ISIS. You're in fight Venezuela. We fighting North Korea. It's like, good God, sit down.
But this is one of the things that a lot of, I think they even pulled up old tweets of his where he was talking about, you're just trying to save your presidency by getting us into a war. So how about we fight with this person and that person in order to get it started? Because what president or what incoming president wants to take that seat in the middle of a war? And so since he's facing all this backlash and controversy regarding Russia,
get us into trouble, so don't nobody want the job.
Right.
Hey.
And then even like hearing there was some like a poll that came out saying how some of the Republicans would actually back him, I guess postponing the 2020 elections. And it's like, what, like, where are we right now?
That would take 3/4 of Congress to do that. That would take a constitutional change.
And you don't think he could pull it off?
No.
You don't think the Democrats will?
He needs the Democrats to pull that off. No, you can't get. I mean, it's difficult enough when you've got a mixed Congress to get 3/4 Congress to change the Constitution. That ain't getting ready to happen. So I'm not even worried about that. Next, Trump declares the opioid epidemic a national emergency. Mueller searches the home of Paul Manafort. Don't know what he found. I guess I don't know if we will ever know, but he served him with a search warrant, went in his house and looked. Black journalist panel with Omarosa ended in anger.
Yeah, I saw some clips from that. And I from what I was understanding, she was
anything
like
different.
a last minute type of, I guess, guest to be on the show. And whose idea was that? Who would invite her of all people?
They didn't invite her.
Well, somebody
they were
had
ticked that she was the one to show up.
Probably. Well, somebody had to invite her.
I think
She didn't just show up pushing her honor. Like,
I think they requested somebody from the White House, and this is who the White House chose.
Why would they even request anybody from the White House? They gonna send their black representative. They gonna send an idiot. Well, no matter who they send, they're going to send an idiot. But the black journalist, so they're going to send a black person, thinking that's the best person. But they don't know that she's an asshole. We don't claim
like
her.
We don't like her, and we don't like Ben Carson either. So stop sending him to our event.
Anything urban, they're gonna send Ben Carson. Anything black, they're gonna send her ass. Keep her ass wherever she is. She should be doing her honeymoon. Didn't she just get married? Like, let her focus on her relationship and the rest of her life, and leave us alone. We're leave us alone.
And that is a message from Mike B. Okay, and then Chicago is suing the Trump administration over sanctuary cities. Chicago, evidently Trump is taking money away from Chicago unless they agree to stop being a sanctuary city.
Chicago ain't the only sanctuary city, so what made him
Chicago's
pick out?
Chicago's having a lot of issues, and they asking for federal help with their crime issues.
Okay.
And so Trump said you can have it, but you can't be a sanctuary city.
Oh, well, so, I could understand that. That's their way of trying to pin or conjoin the whole sanctuary city and blaming immigrants for the reason that you guys are having all this crime and holding the budget or holding funding that you need in order to back that. Might
be true, but somebody evidently thinks it's illegal, so Chicago's suing the federal government. Or actually the Trump administration. Right. And a DA is not currently investigating R. Kelly's sex allegations.
The sex cult situation? You said ADA? Like it's a random DA or like Atlanta? Like
I'm assuming Chicago.
Chicago? Is that where he's from?
I mean, that's where he's from. So. I believe he's still in Chicago, but it just said the DA. So I'm assuming it's Chicago, but whatever city he lives in, that DA is not currently.
Well, that I feel like that comes after we heard like a councilman or somebody come out saying there needs to be a criminal investigation of these particular allegations, or somebody running for a political seat saying we need to investigate this whole situation. It was all over the blogs and whatever. So I guess the DA, and they even mentioned that they had like additional evidence had come out. So this is why we need to investigate this as a criminal situation.
Oh, they're
but
not
evidently
doing
the DA is like, I guess we don't have enough, or
either
why.
That, why? I don't feel like it. I ain't got time for it.
Maybe.
No. But nobody is looking into it right now. So, I mean, if you, I don't know what to believe one way or the other. So all I can do is pray for anybody that's in that type of situation that somehow assistance gets sent to them.
Somehow their assistants.
Assistance gets sent to them.
You're right. Anybody that's in that situation,
in that type of situation, whether it's
unwillingly
him
or unknowingly,
right.
And
whether it's him or somebody else, right. Anybody in that type of situation, I just pray that somehow some assistance gets sent to them.
Right, like sex trafficking, anything like that. Sexual assault victims.
Did you hear about the woman in, was it
The model?
Italy, yeah, who claimed she was
Didn't they find her in like a suitcase or something like that?
Yeah, said she was put in a suitcase, thrown in a trunk, and getting ready to be sold into sex slavery. They reached out to her manager for money.
Well, I feel like when they find you in the suitcase, I believe
I don't think they found her in the suitcase. I think she said she was in a suitcase. They just found her.
Okay.
And then come to find out, one of the people she was with, she was claiming had kidnapped her. She took her shopping.
Well, we've seen those of us who watch. There's a television show called Power, with 50 Cent and Amari Hardwick and some other great actors and actresses. But there's a guy on there, a little young kid who's kidnapped, but he didn't know he was kidnapped because he just hanging out with people that he don't know mean him harm. So you could be kidnapped and not really know it. You could take them shopping.
Well, then they also found pictures of her with one of her kidnappers, like from months prior. So I don't know. I don't know whatever came
nothing.
out. I don't know whatever came out of the story. But the police were starting to question her story.
It's fishy to them,
right?
I'm like, just because you take pictures, like you might kidnap me tomorrow. I've taken pictures with you. I don't know your intentions.
I don't want you.
You never know. You might try to get some ransom from me.
No.
Or from my family.
I just leave you down by the river.
Some cereal or some bologna, like you say.
That's all you got. Anyway,
trying to feed them damn baby kittens in the back of your house.
You can come. I pack you and them kittens up and leave y'all by the river together. So
if y'all hear about Mike B being found by the river,
y'all know who did it. So let's talk about today. And this show is being recorded August the 12th, and unfortunately, last night in Virginia, the Unite the Right rally of white nationalists opposing the removal of the Confederate General Robert E. Lee statue took place. Now, the police anticipated anywhere from 2,000 to 6,000 people were going to be there. And this would be the white nationalist group.
Neo-Nazis.
Well, whatever you want to call them now.
Yeah. White supremacists,
KKK, the idiots.
Yeah, this neo-Nazi, this alt-right, that white extremist, white supremacist KKK. Let's call it what it really is. But go ahead.
But they, they were going to be there along with their counter protesters. So anybody protesting against them. Now, so they knew that this was going to happen, and they were preparing for this to be what they were calling the largest hate gathering of its kind in decades in the United States. Now, I understand that they were preparing for that, but I mean, if you know that in your mind, don't you think you need to seek out and get assistance prior to? That's my question.
I heard that, prior to the Friday's little event, that they had reached out and the governor reached out and put the, what do you call them? The military National Guard. There you go. National Guard on standby. Like, hey, just kind of wait just in case. But I feel like there should have been a stronger presence there.
I feel like there should have been a stronger presence
because
there.
We know if it was anything surrounding black people, Black Lives Matter, then you hear about all these people that are suspected to come, then you know that there's going to be a very heavy police presence. And possibly the National Guard as well. They would have tried to shut it down. Whether it's peaceful or not, they would have been there in the event of. And the fact that, there really wasn't. I mean, there were police officers there, of course. People trying to make sure that the peace was maintained. But the fact that these people last night were able to roam the streets and attack people.
Well, I guess they started by marching down the University of West Virginia, of Virginia. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
University of Virginia first. The campus, they got torches in hands and they're chanting, "You will not replace us in blood and soil." As
well as White Lives Matter. They were also chanting that. Which I don't care what you're saying. I mean, White Lives Matter, there are people out here who believe, and I believe some of these people do think that they are trying to be replaced, that, they are being picked off, that all of the resources and everything has been given to minorities. They believe that because they have people in higher places telling them this. They're sheep and they're just listening. They're gullible, listening to all the rhetoric, and it's soaking in. So they believe they're the ones who are being done wrong. I mean, it works. Look at what happened.
No, when I can't really just blame the guy at the top or the people.
I'm saying
the
people
at the
in power.
I can't even just blame people in power now, because the problem is this is historically a problem. This is historically an issue. Black people were brought into this country, and white people were told all the way back in the 1700s.
Right. I didn't say people in power now, though.
Better. Okay. Well, I do want to definitely make that clear, because back then they were told, hey, you know what? You might not have anything. You might not have a pot to piss in. You might not have shoes on your feet. Your kids might be dirty. You might be uneducated. You might not have jack, but you better than a black person.
Right.
You better than that black person.
That's what
over
they've
there.
been told.
And that's what they've been told. Back then, from people of power, back then it was a brainwashing thing, and then from that point on, from their parents.
Right.
So every generation is told this same thing. You might not have nothing, but at least you're not on the bottom of the totem pole. A black man is on the bottom of the totem pole. And then now you see black people who are getting, because of discrimination and this, that, and other, and then also black people who are busting their butts to get there. And they got the same opportunities, sometimes, most times less opportunity than a white man. And they busting their butts to get there, and they achieve something that you didn't, because you sitting here not doing nothing, partying, having a good time. And then when you get grown, you don't have nothing, and this black person does, and you still looking at them as, but I'm better than you are.
Right.
When in actuality, no, you all are the same. Somebody lied to you, told you was better, and this person busted their butt and worked to get where they are, and you sat on your ass and expected somebody to give you a handout.
But see, they use that same argument as well, especially when it comes to talking to anybody about affirmative action. They use that same argument, saying, I busted my butt, and I studied hard in school. They're not going to acknowledge the handouts that they were given, but they're going to definitely point out the ones that you were given,
right,
in order to get where not to say that you didn't work hard, but they feel like they've done more. Even though they've had it easier, they feel like they've done more, but that's just what it's been ingrained in them.
You compare their grades, and their grades are lower. Black people are kicking butt because they working at it.
Right.
They working hard. They working 3 and 4 and 5 times harder than most other cultures.
Right. Because we
don't have a choice.
Yeah, because it takes much more in order to get a handout or a scholarship or be an offer of a job. If you get offered a job where somebody feels like you are an affirmative action candidate, they are going to challenge you. They're going to make you earn your keep. So you definitely have to prove yourself in order to remain here. And so that's it. Hey. Every damn job I've ever had. I don't get my jobs because of affirmative action that I know of, but I know every job I've ever had, I've had to bust my ass, and I work harder than every other person that I've worked with.
Hey, you don't believe it? Look at the current president and the last president. This current president was a C average student. The last president was head of his class, president of the law group at his college, went to a prestigious college.
Right. Him and his wife.
Him and his wife. He busted his butt to get where he was. This one didn't do nothing but talk a bunch of shit.
And he didn't have to have white supremacists or racists basically making excuses for him. Because black people, to be quite honest, black people held Barack Obama to the coals, to the fire,
sure
especially what we would consider well-educated black people.
Sure did.
They gave him shit every chance they could. But we got the idiots, the bottom of the barrel white folks making excuses for this guy who's in office, and here we are today. And then we got this situation happening in Virginia, and you got the president coming out trying to, I guess, make...
Well, back to that, because we never got to what happened.
Oh.
So back to that. So after the rally through the marching through the University of Virginia
last night.
Yes.
Okay. With the tiki torches.
Yes, with the tiki torches. The two groups clash. And somebody decides to drive their little, looks like a Mustang to me, but I'm not a big car person.
That happened today.
That happened today.
Yeah.
Right. They drove their car through a group of the counter protesters.
Right.
And killed one person for sure. They're saying they're back and forth with the other two on whether 2 people died or not. They have not confirmed the other 2 deaths, but they've confirmed one death, injured several others. And this was a white male. He was 20 years old that drove this car.
Uh-huh.
I do not want to give his name. But he did drive into that crowd to basically kill people.
Right.
Now, the last crowd where somebody drove a car through, they called that terrorism, didn't they?
In London?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was a terrorist attack.
That was a terrorist attack, and we even agreed that
most
was
people here
right?
don't mind calling it what it is. It is a domestic terrorist situation.
So this is right now, and I've always felt like the Klan, white supremacist group, neo-Nazi groups should be
considered
terrorist groups.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's what they do.
They terrorize, and
they
they burn crosses, they burn people,
and put
they
them in
kill,
New York,
they hang
people. So I've always felt that. But our president,
the president of the United States, you can claim him if you want to.
I mean, he's the president of this country.
Just say
I live here.
The president.
Okay, 45. Is that better?
Yes.
Says we condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. It's been going on for a long time in our country. Not Donald Trump, not Barack Obama. This has been going on for a long time.
And I feel like the only reason he threw President Obama's name in there is to try
to put his name
in there. Yeah. It's trying to, say it wasn't my fault. It's not Barack Obama's fault. When Barack Obama didn't run his campaign on divisiveness and racism and try to, fuel his base on negativity. This is everything you've been about since day one, starting with birtherism. This is what you've been. So how are you going to try to separate yourself from it now and still not even call it what it is?
Well, and that's what bothers me. He says on many sides. He doesn't call a spade a spade.
Right. He's trying to, let everybody know that we all need to take, everybody else needs to take some, some blame in it.
Well,
many sides.
No, call a spade. Be man up and be man enough to talk to your base and tell your base to stop. While every single one of his supporters may not be a racist, every racist in this country is a Donald Trump supporter.
Right.
So talk to your base. Tell them to stop.
But talking to his base, he would have to admit that, he did something wrong, because there was a memo that came out where some of his base, the people who were there, were actually excited at the fact that he didn't call them out. I saw a post that came out today saying, Trump's comments were good. He didn't attack us. He just said that the nation should come together. Nothing specific against us. He said that we need to study why people are so angry, and implied that there was hate on both sides. So he implied the Antifa, I don't even know what that is, are haters. There was virtually no counter signaling of us at all. He says he loves us all. No condemnation at all. When asked to condemn, he just walked out of the room. This is really, really good.
And so that's the message he sent to that.
This is the message he always sends. Damn near every rally. The fact that he's still out here rallying and he's got the position, that's a problem. But he'll never admit it, because that's not what he does.
He still has not condemned the Minnesota mosque bombing. So he still if it is white people attacking people of color in this country, or people of color across the globe.
People, because what we saw today, it was white people kind of attacking white people, because there was a lot of white people there speaking out against white racism.
Let me rephrase that. If it is white nationalist or white supremacist attacking
anybody
across
else
the globe,
yeah,
he doesn't say a word.
Right.
But the moment a Muslim attacks a Christian, or a black person attacks a white person.
Yeah, that's fuel for his base.
Everybody's wrong.
Right. That's fuel for his base. And that's all he's concerned about.
Well, luckily, Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe. I don't know how you say his name. I'm sorry, Virginia. But he basically said, he told him, go home. You are not wanted in this great commonwealth, and shame on you.
Talking to the white supremacists.
Correct.
Which is what Trump should have said. Shame on you.
There you
because
go.
We know
that's the presidential statement.
We
right
know
there.
what it is. But he can't talk shit. If he can't talk shit about Vladimir Putin, you know he ain't gonna talk shit about his people.
And he sure ain't talking shit about
I mean the
Vladimir
same
Putin.
person who's going to condemn U.S. for putting sanctions against Russia and then thank Russia for putting sanctions against the U.S. Really?
Well, and, you know, he made the statement, and let's make this perfectly clear. This is not fake news. Look it up. All it takes is 5 minutes to look it up.
Less than that.
He says that, oh, you're saving me money. You're saving me money because I guess he's figuring that all those people that Russia kicked out had to be fired. Mm-hmm. Those people are contracted and have to be paid. You ain't saved not one red dime.
But I guarantee you that his base won't do the research. They're going to take him at his word and get
take
it.
10 minutes. Look it up. It's not that difficult to look this stuff up.
Anyway.
So moving on to another problem. Sometime in the middle of the month, which is, well, next week, North Korea says they're going to attack Guam with a nuclear missile.
Do you know how Guam got involved in any of this?
Because Guam is United States territory, and Guam is in between North Korea and Hawaii. It is the closest U.S. territory to North
them.
Korea.
Okay,
Korea.
right on.
So the citizens of Guam are now being told, I'm calling them Guamians, I don't know what else to call them.
Okay.
But they are being told to prepare for nuclear bombs. So, you know, now, I know you're going to make a sarcastic comment, but no, I don't remember this because I wasn't there. But I remember seeing it on TV, how they used to tell them to prepare for nuclear bombs and to get up under their desk and do all the little preparation in class. You know, like you had a tornado drill.
Yeah, we used to do that for tornado drills.
They used to have nuclear war drills back in the day.
Who would think in 2017 that's where we'd be?
Basically, that's what Guamians are preparing for nuclear war.
And remember when we had 45 got a new chief of staff, and he was a general, and you were saying how he's a little bit more, he's experienced, he's a little more level-headed, maybe he can talk to the president. And I said,
never said that.
You said that when we talked about what was his old, I don't even remember his old chief of staff being replaced, and you were saying Rance Priebus. Yes, you mentioned that this guy's a general, so he understands.
No, what I said was he's a general. So my thought process is there's going to be a point where Trump says to do something, and he's going to say, no, that ain't a good idea. And that's going to be a problem. I don't know who's going to win.
No. But remember I said, ain't nobody been able to talk to this asshole.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like this is proof. Because everybody is saying how cool heads should prevail in this situation. You got two assholes. Not only 45, but
little
also,
dumbass.
yes.
Kim Jong-un.
Whatever his name is. And they're going back and forth with each other, acting like little children.
On the playground.
To me, because it seems so outlandish that we've even got here, I'm like, clearly, Trump is just saying whatever he wants to say to distract us from what's going on in the Russia investigation.
Well, he's talking big bad stuff to this little bitty guy, and little people already have a complex.
You think? Well, are you saying that he's taller than?
I think he's taller than little dude.
Oh. But Trump got a small hand, so I feel like that's
he got a complex too. So both of them got a complex. They sitting here, they talking big stuff, and they both got the codes. And guess who's in the middle of it
Guam.
right now? Poor little Guam.
Well, it came out. I think it was today. I don't know when it came out. I ain't gonna say today, but a conversation between 45 and the president of Guam, where he ended up saying, "I have to tell you, this is 45 talking. I have to tell you, you have become extremely famous all over the world. They are talking about Guam, and they're talking about you. And when it comes to tourism, I can say this, you're going to go up like tenfold with the expenditure of no money." Really? How did we get to talking about tourism and how you're famous when people, like, the lives of my people are in danger, in jeopardy over some bullshit you got going on? That doesn't make any sense to me. And then the fact that the Guam president, from what this audio was saying, he said, the Guam president said, it's a paradise. We've got 95% occupancy, and after all this stuff calms down, we're going to have 110% occupancy.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Charge is stupid.
No, it ain't that person in charge. These people in charge. That's Guam president and 45.
Well, we already know he's an idiot. 45 has started out as an idiot. But okay, this person is an idiot too. Because my big thing is, at one point, Trump says, he says to Kim Jong, or he tells everybody, we'll just wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. I'm like, okay, you're saying wait and see, but there are people that live in Guam, and wait and see means, oh, okay, you're going to make a decision to do what you're going to do on the basis of whether I live or die. That to me is a problem. Because
it's like you're not taking my life seriously
at all. And I mean, this is not another country, and don't get me wrong, it would be disrespectful to do it to another country as well.
Right.
But this is not another country. This is an American territory. So
it makes you wonder, what are generals actually telling him? What are they feeding him in his ear?
What is he hearing? Not what are they telling him? What words
are they even having a conversation?
Well, there's a good question too. But the other thing is, there have always been secret backdoor deals with Korea to get prisoners out, this, that, and the third.
Yeah, I heard this story about Canada. Their president or whoever, Trudeau, whatever his name is, going over there and getting one of their citizens out.
Right. So they do little secret backdoor deals. But so while Trump's been talking all this shit, for lack of a better term, I mean, because that's what it is. It's like two boxers getting in the ring before a fight. They talking mad stuff.
Yeah.
So while he's talking all this mess, they still doing secret backdoor deals.
That's irritating, because you get everybody like all in a panic, and it's a game. It's like it's a game to you.
Or do we get everybody to stop thinking about Russia?
Like I said, it seems like this is the best way to either distract us from Russia or to get us off the whole Russia situation, period, by getting us into a war, and where nobody's thinking about what he's doing. We're not thinking about Russia. They're not thinking about replacing the president, impeachment. We're not thinking about any of that, because we're in the middle.
Well, let me tell you, it's nothing you can do to make me stop thinking about how to get him out of that seat. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not ready for President Pence and Vice President Paul either, or Ryan.
Even this whole situation in Virginia kind of seems like a very good thank you for this distraction situation, which is why maybe 45 wouldn't condemn them, because you got your boy David Duke in the midst of it. And he sent out a little tweet like reminding the president, hey, don't look in the mirror and remember who got you in that office. It wasn't liberals. It was us. It was white people.
Get out and vote. This right here is why you get out and vote. You got to vote. You might not have liked Hillary Clinton, but I can guarantee you, these situations, I do not believe we would be in any of them.
But the difference is even if we were in these situations, we wouldn't have a problem calling Hillary out on her shit. That's what we're not getting from the other side.
You're right about that.
When you're wrong, you're wrong.
Out on this.
And that's what irritates me about people. That, you know what? Anyway, can we stop talking about Trump for a minute?
Yes, we can.
And I want to switch over and talk about 11-year-old Jamonisha Merritt, who went to a friend's house for a little sleepover.
Okay.
And I guess from what reports are saying, one of her cousins, I think her cousin, said that she got into an argument with one of the girls that was there. Mm-hmm. And then the girl decided to perform the hot water challenge on her while she was sleeping, and poured boiling water on this 11-year-old girl.
How old was the girl that poured it on her?
12.
Okay, and so messed up parents. Go ahead.
Yes, messed up parents. because you got these kids that are imitating anything they see on TV, anything they see online, and it's ridiculous. But with the young woman, Jemanisha, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that name wrong, but you guys can look the story up. She was my complexion, maybe just a tad bit darker than me. But then they were showing her in the hospital and how her face is almost white because of all the skin on her face they had to remove because of this situation. In whose mind would you believe that boiling hot water and tossing it on somebody would be an okay thing? Because it's a challenge.
That's a parent issue.
Yes.
And every level.
Remember, you were asking about a poll question. I was saying, I feel like this particular story brings up the poll question because there's a lot of people who don't allow their children to go to sleepovers, and I feel like it's getting more and more dangerous to send your kids to not even strangers' house, because this young girl maybe thought this girl was her friend. But then evidently she realized quickly in the middle of the night that this ain't your friend, because friends don't do that type of shit. I can understand like drawing on your face, because that's what assholes do as far as like my friends. Drawing on your face, trying to shave one of your eyebrows, even though I'd be pissed at all of that. Doing something as hurtful and harmful as pouring boiling hot water on me, we don't come back from that.
Right.
That's you're assaulting me, and I'm going to make sure that you go to jail for what you did. I think they mentioned that the little 12-year-old, I guess after everything went down and she realized the seriousness of this, that she had tried to, commit suicide or whatever, in which we don't want that. But you got to learn.
Again, that's a parenting issue.
Do you allow your kids to go to sleepovers?
I mean, I think you have to. That's part of.
I don't know about have to.
No,
you can let people come to your house.
I think you have to. I've got two stepsisters, or not stepsisters, half sisters. Their mom didn't allow them to go on sleepovers, and you can see them as adults. You can see the effects that social activity or lack of social activity had on them. You can see in some of the things that they do. Now,
was it their mother that may be the reason they act the way they do, or going to sleepover?
No, it was their mother.
Okay.
It was their mother. She was very clingy. She wouldn't let them do much of anything. Now, people could come over their house. They just weren't allowed to go over other people's. And even they didn't realize the what had been done and the things that they were seeing as weird that weren't really weird, just kind of normal things, until her daughters were old enough to go and spend the night with someone else. And their dad said they could go. And so for them, it was normal. And when they were told, hey, by their grandmother, I didn't let your mother and them go other places, they couldn't fathom and understand that. Mm-hmm. So I think that I think it creates an issue with your psyche, where you start thinking that some things that are actually just very normal are normal or abnormal. Like, I know I had a friend who thinks that a 5-year-old should never sit on her father's lap. Once they hit 5 years old, you should not be sitting in your father's lap. You should not climb in your dad's bed and cuddle with your dad. He should not hold you. He should not hug you. He should not kiss you. She thinks that is wrong. And that is so not wrong. That is absolutely needed. When you start getting afraid of too many things, you start taking away normalcy, and you start taking away signs of love and affection that are real, honest, and true. And so that becomes a problem.
I wouldn't blame her for not wanting her daughter to sit on the father's lap, but that also speaks to an issue with her and her upbringing with maybe a man in her family or a father.
It speaks to an issue, but a daughter that doesn't have her father, as adults, you can see all the issues, and those are the issues. Those are the ones that give y'all issues.
But her not sleeping, or not sleeping, but her not sitting on his lap doesn't mean he's not there. And her not cuddling with him in the bed doesn't mean that he's not there.
No, but him not being able to give her affection.
There's other ways.
No, there's not. I mean,
you don't have to cuddle.
to get a hug by your father.
I didn't say a hug. That's not a cuddle. That's different.
No, that's what I'm saying. The child, she doesn't believe a daughter should be hugged by her father, kissed by her father. No form of affection that could be
hug, kiss. Those are normal
climbing
things.
Climbing
you
your
said
daddy's lap,
sitting on the lap and cuddling. Those are
held.
I can understand those two, but everything else, it's not like she removed all contact between the daughter and the father. You didn't explain that at first.
Between the daughter and the father.
Okay.
So when you start, you got to pay attention to how those things are normal and what you're teaching a child when you tell them, oh, no, this is abnormal.
And
however,
the mother could probably learn from that too, realizing that, you know what, this is what's normal. What I went through wasn't normal, and it could help her.
However, now in this situation of the two kids spending the night, my mother always said, you can't spend the night with nobody until I know them and their parents.
Right.
And that took getting to know them. And she didn't mean we just meet, say hello. You had to know them. So there had to be play dates where
coming
I
over,
was over
visit,
for
y'all
a
spend
few
the
hours.
night. Yeah.
Right. You were over for a few hours. There had to be times when my mom sat on the phone and talked to her mom and vice versa.
Right.
We had to get to know each other. And then, okay, yeah, sure. Now, as we
You
got
don't even
older,
seem like the type to be spending the night over anybody's house.
Oh, yeah. I got a best friend since the 3rd grade. God, yes.
Yeah, one. But like other than that, you just don't seem like social like that.
Yeah.
You're more social than me, but you just don't seem like
I've
the type.
spent the night. I was a Girl Scout. Spent the night with girls all the time.
Okay.
You know, but again, that was, I was a Girl Scout. So these girls were in the troop. Their parents were in the troop. My mom got to know them. All of that was done.
It's about being involved in your child's life
before, and then you pick up on the signs because you look out and you can tell when a kid really don't like your kid. And I'm going to pour hot boiling water on you. You can tell when another child really doesn't care for your child.
And
you
even
can pick up on those things because they're too young to understand that you can easily see, but your child might not be.
Even when I was reading the article, I felt like the little girl, the 11-year-old Jamanisha, I felt like her mom didn't know these people. And it just, I don't even know why, but reading the article, it felt like that mother didn't know these kids.
Yeah, see.
And that's a sad part.
And you gotta know your kids' friends. You do. Now, by the time I was 16, if I wanted to spend the night with somebody, well,
you probably was hot and bothered at that point.
No, it was.
You seemed like you was fast at 16.
I was very.
You got on Mickey Mouse ears right now.
Okay. At 13, I thought kissing was passing spit. No, I was very, very, very slow. So, but by the time I was 15, 16 years old, it wasn't as big of a deal. But even still, at that point, my mama still knew all my friends. Because my mother and I had built a relationship where I wasn't afraid to bring a friend home. So she knew everybody I went out with.
That's good.
So, but again, that's why I say it's parenting. Parent has to be there. You've got to be a part of your child's life. I get it. You got to go to work. You probably got a second job. You got other things going on. You got other kids, but and then it's
also one of the things that you might be raising these kids by yourself.
Right.
So, you always have to take that into consideration. So I wonder how many people out there actually would allow your kids to go to sleepovers. Like, is that a thing of the past? Or is it something that you actually do, but once you start to get to know the kid as well as the parents? Or do you trust the kid's judgment saying, hey, this is my friend, so can I go and visit? Can I sleep over or whatever? Or do you actually have a conversation with the parents? That's what I would like to know.
I'll never trust the kid's judgment. But anyway, please share your stories. We would actually love to know. And that's going to be it for today, unless you got anything else. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for listening, and have a lovely evening.
Peace.